Luna and Lara were powerful, but the connection that Lara had with the world seemed stronger than that of Luna. Since small, Luna via Lara stand out, being the center of attention, while she preferred the discretion of a good book. That's how, in pre-adolescence, I met Gabriel. He was the symbol of the clear brown hair and the easy smile that lived on the same street. Mr. Gabriel and Lara became inseparable. They used to play ball on the street, ride a bike, and share coins under the shadow of a great crowd. Luna, even feeling a silent appeal by Gabriel, observed the friendship of the two by far, without exception. She knew that Lara, with her extroverted spirit, had always conquered everyone. Luna, dedicated to studies, focused on her career and graduated in architecture. Lara, with her native communication agency, became a renowned journalist, traveling the world. Gabriel, in turn, invested in the financial market and became a successful economist, establishing himself in another city. One day Luna, now a successful architect, found Gabriel in a coffee shop. The reunion was terrible. He still had the same smile, but the conversation flowed in a way that had never flowed in infancy. They shared moments of their lives, the careers they built and the dreams they still had. The silent situation that Luna lived in infancy finally flourished. The dating began, and the relationship between the two became solid. Luna and Gabriel were the perfect combination. The calm and simplicity of an architect with a vision of the future and the ambition of an economist. The engagement came, and Lara, now a famous journalist, returned to Brazil for the wedding. She seemed genuinely happy for her sister, but an attentive look could have spotted a different effect in her eyes when she looked at Gabriel. They spend months planning the life of two, buying the house of dreams and planning the great day. The relationship between Luna and Lara remains unwavering. After all, Lara did not know of the interest that Luna had for Gabriel in youth, and Luna never let it appear. For Luna, the sister's union with her grandfather was natural, a reflection of the long-standing friendship they had. She found that Lara's joy was true, and her sister volunteered to be the godmother of the wedding, active participation in all the arrangements. She organized her bachelorette party and she fastened the tail of Luna's wedding dress on the day of the wedding. You can be the perfect sister, happy for Luna's daughter. The wedding was a terrible fairy tale. Luna was radiant in her wedding dress, and Gabriel in her impeccable suit, the widow with the song she always dreamt of. The party, the music, the vows, everything was perfect. At the altar, Gabriel and Lara exchanged subtle glances and smiles, but Luna was so immersed at their moment of silence that she did not notice. She was living the happiest day of her life. After the ceremony, the bride and groom departed from the dead, with Lara waving effusively, and departed for the honeymoon. They chose a paradisiacal destination, with white sandy beaches and a sea of vibrant blue. The first night was magical, the appearance of a love that began in infancy and was sealed at the altar. Luna's solution remains complete, without room for doubt or distrust. The next day, while Gabriel went to get the breakfast, Luna found his cell phone on the table. Without the intent to run away, she used it to put it to load and, when playing the screen, the recording of a message was highlighted. It was Lara's. The message was short but devastating. "Saudades from you. Last night was unforgettable." The words on the screen of Gabriel's cell were like cold union carving Luna's heart. The tears began to drain, slowly and silent, while the reality fell around it. The perfect image of the wedding, the love, the child, was shattered in 1,000 pieces. She knew she could not confront him there, that paradise forged in lies. In return, he left the room, walking through the beach as if he was in a trance. The sea, before blue and cozy, leaves an abyss ready to swallow it. His first instinct was to call the only person in whom he could trust, his mother. Doctrinal, the ambushed voice of Luna tried to narrate the facts, but the tears prevented her from producing complete stories. Mum, Lara, and Gabriel. On the other side of the line, the mother, confused, wrote the account of a child in distress. The news shocked her and devastated. How can your beloved daughter be betrayed in such a cruel way, and still by her own sister? Mother's anger and indignation mixed up in a silent silence. "Go home, kid. You don't have to go through this alone." "I'm sorry." At that moment that Luna decided to face the situation. She returned to the room and, with Gabriel's phone still in hand, awaited his arrival. When he came in with a breakfast tray, his smile froze when he saw Luna's expression and the device in his hand. "Why did Lara give me that message, Gabriel?" Luna's voice was just a whisper, but loaded with a cutting pain. He made up a story about Lara having a dream and that the message was for him, but that she had left it for revenge. "She must be jealous of the face and progressing slowly," he said, with a smile on her face. The situation was so obvious that it was about to be cruel. But Luna, with her heart bruised and hurt, clung to that fragile hope. She wanted to die. And for a few more weeks the wedding continued, but with a huge cracking that got late every day. Remember, the truth only came to the surface when Lara, in one of his return to the city, went to the house. Luna, still with the flea behind the ear, decided to confront the sister, leaving the message. "You told Gabriel that you were in a hailing mood. What does that mean?" Mr. Lara, with his usual ability to communicate, spoke without hesitation. "Luna, that's bullshit. Gabriel is my kindergarten friend. Of course I'd like to spend some time with him. The message was a joke, a loving way of talking to him, as I always thought." And still added, "There's nothing to be worried about, Luna. It is the thing of its origin, though." The doctrine of Lara was the drop of water for Luna, who was now sure that the situation was real and that the two were lying to her. The pain of the head was mixed with a cold and calculating head. The naive belief that you believe in love and in the family had changed at that moment. "Instead, I found a stronger woman, but I was suspicious of everything and everyone." The child left a deep awareness, transforming her eyes on life and love, and she swore to herself that she would never be deceived again. With the help of a lawyer, Luna asked for half of Gabriel's estate, including the house of dreams they had purchased together. Justice, next to her, has given everything. With the breakup and the breakup with a sister, Luna became visible, but for the first time in a long time free. The house of dreams, purchased with the certainty of true love, became the true symbol of Luna. Each room kept a painful memory, but instead of selling, Luna decided to stay and relax. She wanted to recover the space that was yours, transforming it into a dream of her new life. "I went through the room, exchanging the dark lines for vibrant colors and selling the old coat to buy a new one. Gradually, the house that haunted her became her fortress. At first, shyness and fear of opening up to Jerusalem were dangerous, but it persisted. That's where I met Sylvia, a literature teacher with a sharp sense of humor and a story of overcoming that inspired her. Sylvia did not try to deceive Luna, but heard her and reminded her that life is made of chapters, and that hers had not finished. Friendship became a safe port for Luna, who learnt to laugh again, to open up to people and to say that the idea was not a bet, but a gift that became to the gods. Luna's mother, rather passive, played a more active role in her life. The pain I felt for Luna was so great that it motivated her to act. She came to visit the crowd, took her to Jerusalem, and in long periods, spoke about the self-respect and the strength Luna always had. "That's not what I do with you, kid. You are what you do from now on," replied the mother, with the voice loaded with a song that life gave her. This unconditional support was the first spark to rekindle the flame of hope in the heart of Luna. Ruled while Luna reawakened, Gabriel and Lara plunged into their own history. In the first few months, their relationship took a break. They were married in a discreet ceremony and tried to build a life of two, far from the judging eyes of those who spoke of the truth. But the new house was cold, and the complicity they expected to find was a lie. The relationship was a web of knowledge and knowledge. The idea that one day was the reason for the situation broke quickly, leaving only the weight of the blame and the resentment. Gabriel's career before that began to crumble. He felt far and disinterested, lost focus on the changes and made unexpected decisions that cost the company. The resignation was the result of his negligence. Gabriel's scene one of these days was successful, leaving the office with a cardboard box in his hands, was a portrait of his own moral and professional outburst. Without the work and the status that defined it, it became a symbol of self-pity and self-awareness. Doctrine's The Fall of Gabriel was followed by Lara. Being a renowned journalist, she tried to use her fame to cover the scandal of the sisters' breakup, but the gossip world does not forgive. People began to question their ethics and their morals, and labor contracts were cancelled. The journalist who covered the big cities became the worst news. At the moment, the doors are closed and the phone stops ringing. The incessant search for success and attention to a player she couldn't face. Lara feels left behind by everyone, including Gabriel. The man she had taken from her sister was not the enchanted prince that she idealized. He spent the days dipped in alcohol, complaining about life and what he did, without ever recognizing his own portion of blame. Lara complained if the daughter of Luna, who was now a slave who haunted her, was worth all the price she needed. Mr. Luna, in turn, was prospering in her work. With the help of Sylvia and the support of her mother, she built a project in a place that would force her to leave her comfort zone. It was on a business trip to Greece that the fate to take place in Lucas' office, a Brazilian entrepreneur. He was investing in luxury resorts and needed a talented architect for a new project. The meeting was professional, but the tune between them was undeniable. They spent the next 3 months writing themselves, exploring the beauties of Greece, sharing dreams and healing the wounds of the past. Lucas, patient and understanding, conquered her to the dead. He made her believe that love can be safe and that not all people are destined to hurt her. In a year they were married, and 2 years later, they were married in a simple and romantic ceremony, on the same island where they met. They decided to work in Greece, where life was calmer and where the memories of a dark past did not reach them. Doctrinal news of Luna's wedding in Greece came to Gabriel and Lara as a shock. They, who thought they had killed her, were amazed at the turn of her life. Luna was happy, successful and loving again. The child for her was not given the ransom and the money, but yes, to show them that the secret weapon cannot be taken away. The coup was fatal to Gabriel, who couldn't understand the idea that she moved on, happy and radiant. The pain of loss develops in an unbearable weight, leading it to a state of deep depression. He lost his concentration at work, committing mistakes that culminated in his resignation. With no job, without Luna and without perspective, Gabriel gave himself to alcohol, becoming a shadow of the ambitious man who one day was. She was isolated from the family, with professional success serving only as a nail polish for the child she loved. He never came closer to Gabriel or his sister again, and what was left of his life was a dream that no exotic journey seemed to exist. Alongside Luke, she not only found true love, but also the ability to become a woman held in all aspects of life. Together they prospered, accumulating a fortune in horses and a variety of luxury cars. Luna, the successful architect, became the mother of 3 children, lived a life of luxury and, above all, of real happiness, encircled by the love that she always deserved.